Now I know what you're thinking. Holy shit, is that a Grandmaster? Yes, it is. Thank you very much. It took me around 4 or 5 days playing Minion Master around the clock. But this isn't about Grandmaster. This is about me, as a Grandmaster player, answering a few questions that have been asked a lot in global chat. Not about me, but about the game. The first thing that I wanted to talk about is something that a lot of people don't understand yet. Every time I look in global chat, there's always someone complaining on how the game is trash for having the in-game experience / level up mechanic. I personally like this feature because the hero and level up mechanic is something that makes them different from the competition. But that's neither here nor there. Fact is that these people also write stuff like, I had both bridges for 80% of the match and he still has mana frenzy before me. First of all, no, that's not true.
You're never gonna have both bridges for the entire match. Always gonna run it down and spamming you.
Sorry. And second, it isn't the game's fault that your average deck cost is 5 mana. A good rule of thumb is the lower the deck cost is, the more experience you'll have. But this isn't set in stone, there are ways to play around it. But a lot of cards that cost 2 to 3 mana counter cards between 6 and 9, so why even bother taking them? We'll come back to this later. There are alternatives to earn experience as well, like bridge shrines and XP snipers, and they actually sometimes really pop off, but it's really safer to play around bridge control. Another thing that I see a lot of people complaining about is that the game is apparently pay to win. I'd agree that some legendaries are important to have, especially for mayhems, but you don't need a deck full of them to win a game. Check out the deck I made to reach Grandmaster, and I only needed 1 legendary and 1 epic. There will never be this one perfect legendary that you need to have, because Better Dwarf takes care of unbalanced cards, although it takes them a long time to do so. Just for anyone out there struggling with making a dough, ranking up, mayhems, and playing draft awards you with tons of cards and gold. Another thing that got my attention is people asking what deck / hero is the strongest. And to be honest, that depends on what rank you are. The decks I've made on this channel are great decks to reach Diamond. And once you reach Master or higher, you have to experiment what works best for you. Just remember that some decks aren't accepted by other players, and they might grief your game. Most people play a hero that synergizes with their decks. For example, more ranged units than melee units, a better Stormbringer than Volko deck, more horde minions than single minions, you might want to try Redbow, and so on. You can't be rank 1 in an hour, and it's a gradual process, but I'm sure that if you are determined enough, you will reach it. Well, let's stay on the topic of decks, and more specifically the spell drama I've encountered. Have you ever made a deck and someone commented, "It needs more spells"? I've heard it so many times that every time I hear it, I want to ram a finger down my throat. Not every deck needs 2 to 4 spells. The amount of spells you need to take with you corresponds to how much value you can get out of it. If you're only playing against Ritual of Servitude decks, then sure, 3 lightning bolts would be great. But essential spells don't do shit against them. The last topic I wanted to talk about is very vague, in the sense of asking a bland question and hoping for the perfect answer. The question is, of course, "Help, I can't climb, what can I do?" And here's what I do when I struggle. Play 10 matches in a row and keep statistics on what kind of cards were used, what hero did they play, what you struggle most with, and cards you have that might counter their cards. Using this strategy helped me a lot, and I'm 100% sure that it would help you too. That's all for today, folks. As always, remember to like and subscribe, and maybe share the video with a friend. This video wasn't sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Senron out.